National education standards recommend beginning sex education in kindergarten. But how does a parent even begin to talk about sex with such a young child? Now, if you're already panicking like me, relax, because we have an expert here to help. So we want to please welcome psychiatrist and author of Amazing You and Changing You, Dr. Gail Saltz. And I also want to say, welcome, Dr. Saltz. I do want to say, just as a caution, please get your children out of the room if you don't want them to hear this subject. So, congratulations. Thank you for. I'm so panicked here about this. I can't even talk because my son is around the age that you're talking about. So, at what age should you start talking to your children about sex and their bodies?
Where babies come from.
And where babies come from. You really want to start the conversation about bodies and sexual parts as soon as they're verbal, because if you make it comfortable, if you make it part of the natural conversation, this is your nose, this is your hands, instead of going in, down there.
So when
you want to start naming parts, because
naming them with their medical names or with the they're like nicknames used, or should we just go straight medical?
So little Patrick wasn't right.
No, probably not. Probably not. I don't want to rob parents of the enjoyment of little Patrick and Hoo-Hoo or whatever, but you really should give them the correct anatomical names, because that is how they converse with the world. And when they go, oh, my little Patrick, no one knows what they're talking about.
But Dr.
And
Gail,
so you do.
So when we're talking about where babies come from, because I say to Jeffrey, God, I prayed to you and God put you in my belly, and I think that he can, at this age, is what he can handle. You're saying I should give him, your daddy and I had one hot night.
No,
But does he call Daddy God?
So developmentally, he's probably not ready for intercourse. What he is ready for, though, is to understand that there are sperm in testicles, there are eggs in ovaries, and a sperm and an egg comes together to grow a baby in a uterus. He is ready to understand that. He could understand
use those bigger words, so
That actually, they seem like bigger words because but not to the kids. They're really not. And you want to be truthful, because you have to take back. You have to take back. There you are. There you are. Yes. And you know what?
You know what? What's wonderful about that is it has a heart around it, so it means it's something out of love.
Correct.
That I like.
And that you do. And
Yes.
in this conversation, you can communicate your morals and your values, because kids, it's the beginning of that conversation, and they will listen to that.
times have changed. What about what Sherry said, God put you in my belly?
I would be, technically, if she wants to say that God had a hand in it, that is a wonderful thing. But you want to be really clear and honest to imply there's nothing, one, to be ashamed about, and two, I give you the real information. It's not a mystery. It's not a mystery.
Religions have been started with that explanation.
And we don't want any immaculate conceptions.
Now, what about,
you know what I'm saying?
What about God designed sperm and God designed egg and God designed,
okay, so we can talk about that. What about talking about masturbation with the child who's very, very young?
Well, let me say this.
How young?
All children, yes, it's normal. It's normal for children to touch themselves, because it feels nice, and you don't want to shame them. We used to say, right, it would grow hair on your hands and all these things. We want to say it's very normal, it's very healthy, but it's private. So it's fine if you want to do that. And by the way, pretty much everybody does.
Yeah.
And I get it. But you want to do it in private. So if you like to go in your room, if you want to go in your bathroom, that is fine. Now, if your child is doing it 24/7 all over the place, that is actually a message that they may be anxious. Because when kids, and lots of kids do get anxious, when they're really, then you want to say, talk to me about, are you feeling worried about things, nervous about things? And then you might want to get them evaluated if that is a symptom. But mostly, it's really normal in public places until you tell them to do it privately.
especially at certain ages. Are there certain ages where this is more common than not?
In latency age.
64.
And there you go. I didn't know that.
It's okay.
We got to get out of here. We want to thank you so much. Thanks to Dr. Gail Saltz, and thank you to Patrick Stelz.